Welcome back to our channel Dimes and Cents. Today everyone to another exciting and deeply fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins where history, hidden treasures and incredible market values come together to tell us stories that go far beyond the face value of the coin itself. Today we are going to dive into the details of one very special coin that has captured the imagination of collectors, historians, and investors alike. It is none other than the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 1986, a coin that at first glance looks like an ordinary piece of change in your pocket but has the potential to be worth a staggering amount of money in today's market, with certain rare examples reaching an unbelievable current value of about $131.5 million. That's right, a coin with a face value of just 1 cent can be worth more than the most luxurious cars, mansions, or even private islands, and the story behind why and how is something you cannot miss. The 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin belongs to the iconic Lincoln cent series, which has been a staple of American coinage since 1909. It carries forward the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood the test of time for over a century. By 1986 these coins were no longer made of mostly copper as they had been in earlier decades. Instead, since 1982 the United States Mint had shifted to using a zinc core coated with copper to keep costs down. This change introduced new varieties of errors and mistakes because the new composition was more difficult to strike consistently and it reacted differently under certain conditions. These small differences combined with mint mark's errors and production quirks are the key reasons why a single coin from 1986 can go from being worth just 1 cent to being worth millions of dollars. The history of coin collecting has always shown us that certain years stand out more than others, and 1986 is one of those years. At first the mint produced billions of these 1-cent coins across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. In ordinary circulation these coins are still easy to find today. But among those billions there are extremely rare error coins, unique strikes, double dies, and unusual mint mark variations that have been discovered by sharp-eyed collectors. These errors are what transform the coin from a simple penny to a treasure worth more than anyone could imagine. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that appears slightly off, perhaps with doubled lettering, a weak strike, or a mint mark that doesn't look quite right, and then realizing that this very error could place its value in the millions. The most astonishing part is that collectors and investors place enormous value on the uniqueness and rarity of such coins. The 1986 Liberty 1-cent has been reported in auctions and private sales to reach extraordinary sums because of such factors. When we speak of a market current value of $131.5 million for a single coin, we are talking about the most extreme and rare specimen, one that combines exceptional condition, rarity of the error, and high historical demand. Numismatics, the study and collection of coins, thrives on these rare examples. It is not about the metal itself, since the coin is made of cheap zinc and copper, but about the story, the accident in the minting process, the historical year, and the sheer rarity that cannot be replicated. Now let us walk deeper into the history of 1986. This was the year that Ronald Reagan was president. The Cold War was still in full swing, and the American economy was going through changes. The penny itself was already under debate, with discussions about whether it should continue to be made at all given that its production cost was approaching its actual face value. That very debate adds historical importance to coins from this period. Every coin struck carries with it the weight of this debate, and every surviving example becomes a piece of history frozen in time. A collector who owns a rare 1986 Liberty 1-cent doesn't just own a coin, they own a symbol of American history, economics, and culture from that era. The value of this coin today depends heavily on several factors. First is condition. A coin in mint state condition with no wear, kept perfectly preserved, is worth far more than one that has been used in circulation. Second is the mint mark, whether it is from Philadelphia with no mint mark, from Denver with the D mark, or from San Francisco with the S mark, which was mainly for proof coins. Proof coins especially can be incredibly valuable because they were struck with extra care and detail, often showing mirror-like surfaces and sharp designs. Third and most importantly are the errors. Double die obverse coins where the date or liberty shows clear doubling are especially sought after. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and coins struck on the wrong planchet entirely can skyrocket in value. Even small die cracks, repunched mint marks, and misaligned strikes are known to create huge value increases when collectors fight to own them at auctions. Auction records show us just how crazy the market can get. Collectors are willing to outbid each other and drive prices into the millions simply because there might only be one or two such coins in the entire world. The 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin with extraordinary rarity has reportedly reached market evaluation surpassing $131.5 million. That price is not just about the coin itself, it's about prestige, rarity, and the desire to own something so unique that no one else can have it. When you consider that it is not just money, it is a symbol of ownership, of history, a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, now let us imagine the journey of such a coin. It was struck at the U.S. Mint in 1986, perhaps accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, or perhaps with a double die that only a handful of people ever noticed. It circulated, maybe it didn't, or maybe it was spotted early and set aside. Decades later, as collectors began to hunt for these rare varieties, it surfaced, was authenticated by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, and given a grade that confirmed its rarity. From there, its fame grew. Word spread among numismatists, and when it finally hit the auction block, the bidding war began. Millionaires and billionaires alike fought over the chance to own it. Finally, it sold for an astronomical figure, of value that today stands at $131.5 million, cementing its place as one of the most valuable coins in the world. This is why the Liberty 1-cent coin of 1986 is so important to study, to collect, and to treasure. It is not just a piece of metal. It is a story of American history, of minting technology, of human error, of economic debate, and of collector passion. Every tiny detail on that coin can make the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth a fortune greater than most people will ever see in their lives. So next time you come across a penny, especially one from the 1980s, look closely at it. Study the date, study the mint mark, and study the details. You never know if you might be holding in your hand not just a coin but a life-changing fortune. The 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin proves that miracles can still be found in ordinary pockets, and that the treasures of history are still waiting to be discovered by those who pay attention.